Good afternoon, everyone. This is Eloise. Welcome back to our Microlearning Sprint here with Coding Kids. So in yesterday's video, we talked about digital solutions for years 5 to 6 students. Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about digital solutions for years 7 to 8 students instead. So unlike for previous year levels, year 7 to 8 is a great place to move on from scratch and get started with teaching them Python. Now, I hear you ask, what's the difference between a visual-based programming language like Scratch and a text-based programming language like Python? Well, you can check out the blog post we did about it all on our website. The link to that will be in the description very soon. Let's get stuck into it, shall we? So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a text adventure using Python. Turn that around, there we go. Okay, so this game is just what it sounds like. So it's a text adventure in a fantasy world through which the player can navigate by typing in commands over here. Now, this format of game can be reused in many different scenarios. So for example, if you wanted to recreate the natural disasters game from yesterday in Python. All right, so first of all, just have a little play through it to show you what it is. What is your name, adventurer? My name is Eloise. There we go. And if I hit enter, there we go. Greetings, Eloise. Let us go on a quest. You find yourself on the edge of a dark forest. Can you find your way through? Would I like to step into the forest? Sure, we'll say yes. Okay, you head into the forest. You hear crows cawing in the distance. To your left, you see a bear. To your right, there is more forest. There is a rock wall directly in front of you. Behind you is the forest exit. I'll go towards the bear. Let's go left, sure. The bear eats you. Oh dear. Well, Eloise, well, that was a bit silly of me. That's all right. Okay, so quickly, let's refresh the mandatory concepts for years 7 to 8 students. So this is general purpose programming. So students should be able to write a program for any basic need that needs to be fulfilled. That's a tongue twister. Okay, but that's still quite broad though. So what does that mean? Let's break it down a bit. Well, we've moved on from isolated steps from the 6 fundamental concepts of coding. Students should be able to exercise a seamless use of these. Now, Python's not mandatory, but with an acceptable text-based programming language, students should know how to solve a variety of problems. So what can students learn from building a game like Text Adventure? Well, many concepts that are hugely useful and used widely in coding are actually represented in these. So we have our seamless use of the 6 fundamental concepts of coding. First of all, we have branching. So here we have the multiple options that we have. Do you enter the forest? Just here. Do you enter the forest? Do you turn left or right when you enter? That sort of thing. And then we have sequencing. So the different segments that happen in the game. So we have how first there's a name, then you enter the forest, then you have to choose which way you go, if you go left or right or so on and so forth, and then comes something else, etc., etc. Then we have looping. So a while loop, which you can see just here. A while loop allows a piece of code to run until a conclusion is met. There's also another one just up here as well. Just there, yep. So this conclusion is determined by conditional statements. So if, elif, else, and elif just means else if. So those are all represented in here. So we have an if, we have an else if, and then we have an else just there. All right, then we have data input and output. So this can be seen through the cooperation of user input and variables. So those are like those ones that I was typing in before, how I typed in my name and it was able to put it back out to me like that, just up there. So yeah, that's like getting the name of the user and also their chosen comments. So when I was choosing if I wanted to go left or right or those sorts of things. Then we have printing. So this comes into displaying some text on the screen. It's often used for user interaction or troubleshooting. So that would be up here, for example, with these print commands just here. In terms of arithmetic, well, we actually don't really see arithmetic in this particular game, but you could actually add it. So for example, if this was a math text adventure game, well, maybe our hero would have to answer math questions in order to proceed through the forest. So then we have some other things that students can learn. So in terms of data storage, there's variables. So when a user inputs their name, like up here, There's their comments, etc. into the game. These values are all stored into variables so that they can be used later. So for example, that was, where did I put my name in? It's just here. Then we have also got arrays as well. So these are essentially a variable that stores multiple values. So one can index an array to extract particular values from that array. So these are used to hold, for example, directions, so yes, no, or left, right, forwards, backwards. Text Adventure is a great example of general purpose programming. It makes good and seamless use of about 5 or 6 of the fundamental concepts of coding, as well as other common coding concepts to create a digital solution. And this format can be easily appropriated to suit other subjects, so for example, geography or math. Students should be able to do this easily as it is part of their programming expectations, so general programming. All right, so turn that back around, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So that's all we have time for in today's episode. Now tomorrow's episode is actually going to be the final episode of our January microlearning sprint. We're going to be talking about how you can integrate hardware into the classroom. Okay, so if you haven't already, don't forget to sign up for our Teacher PD certificate. If you complete all 10 mini quizzes, so 1 quiz for each video, you'll receive a certificate for completing an hour of Teacher PD. And the link to sign up for that will be in the description very soon. All right, so tomorrow's episode will be back at our normal time. We're back at 10 a.m. And that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Eloise, signing off.